Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever heard of the Mary Celeste? If not, then get ready to dive into one of the most baffling mysteries at sea. This merchant ship simply vanished into thin air back in 1872. And what's even more mind-boggling is that it was found completely intact with its cargo untouched, but not a single crew member on board. This eerie discovery has left us scratching our heads for over a century. So what happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste? Join us as we explore the various theories that have emerged over the years and ultimately propose our own explanation for this haunting maritime enigma. So let's start by setting the scene. The Mary Celeste was a commercial ship that was sailing from New York to Genoa, Italy. It was loaded up with a valuable cargo of industrial alcohol and oil. The journey was expected to take around 2 weeks. But after 13 days, the ship had still not arrived at its destination. Anxious inquiries began pouring in from the worried shippers who were eager to get their hands on their cargo. But there was little anyone could do. The ocean was vast and communication was limited back in the early 1800s. They could only wait and hope for the Mary Celeste to turn up soon. And turn up it did, but not in the way anyone had anticipated. On December 1872, the captain of another ship spotted the Mary Celeste floating off the coast of Portugal, all alone without a single soul on board. The ship was in good condition, and everything seemed to be in order. There were no signs of a struggle or distress. The supplies on board were untouched, and the ship's log provided no answers. In fact, the last entry in the log was dated November, providing no insight into what happened during those missing days. This bizarre occurrence immediately sparked a frenzy of speculation and theories. People began to wonder what could have possibly happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste. One of the first theories that came to mind was piracy. After all, tales of swashbuckling pirates were all the rage back in the 19th century. And the disappearance of a ship without a trace seemed like a perfect opportunity for a daring pirate crew to strike. Plus, the Mary Celeste was sailing through a notorious pirate haven at the time. However, upon closer inspection, the piracy hypothesis started to fall apart. The pirates would have had to have been some sort of supernaturally swift workers to have unloaded all of the ship's cargo without leaving a trace behind. Furthermore, there was no evidence of a fight or struggle on board, which seemed out of character for a group of cutthroat buccaneers. As intriguing as the piracy theory may sound, it just doesn't add up. Next, investigators turned their attention to the ship's cargo hold. Could there have been a spontaneous combustion that wiped out the entire crew? Well, that's certainly possible. In the mid-1800s, there were several cases of ships mysteriously bursting into flames with no apparent cause. And the Mary Celeste wasn't the only vessel to experience this bizarre phenomenon. But again, this theory doesn't seem to fit all of the facts. If a fire had broken out in the cargo hold, it's likely that the crew would have tried to put it out. Moreover, they would have probably sounded an alarm and sent out distress signals. But there was no evidence of any of that on board the Mary Celeste. Another possibility was that the crew panicked and abandoned ship due to a sudden and unexpected problem. Perhaps a leak in the hull, a violent storm, or some other unforeseen issue. This theory seems plausible because it doesn't require any extraordinary circumstances. However, it doesn't explain why the crew would have left the ship in such good condition with the cargo still on board. It just doesn't make sense for them to leave all that valuable cargo behind. But then there's the mutiny theory. Perhaps the crew members turned against each other and a violent struggle ensued, resulting in the remaining crew abandoning ship. Again, this theory seems a bit far-fetched as there's no evidence of a fight or struggle on board and no indication of foul play. Now let's move on to the most likely scenario. Imagine the ship tossing and turning on the waves, caught in the grip of a massive storm. Suddenly, a rogue wave, a towering giant of the sea, rears its head, crashing over the deck and sweeping the crew overboard. One by one, they disappear beneath the surface, struggling against the relentless force of the ocean. But the ship, though battered and bruised, remains afloat. This harrowing tale may sound like something straight out of a movie script, but it's actually the most plausible explanation for what happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste. In fact, similar incidents have occurred before, proving that it is entirely possible. Back in 1909, the captain and 4 crew members of the captain's yacht were washed away by a rogue wave while sailing between Bermuda and New York. Only 1 crew member survived, and the vessel was found abandoned and slightly damaged, much like the Mary Celeste. Additionally, the area where the Mary Celeste was found is known for its rough seas and unpredictable weather conditions, making it entirely plausible that a rogue wave could have struck the ship and claimed the crew. However, there's another possibility that shouldn't be overlooked. Perhaps the crew made a navigational error, leading them far off course and into treacherous waters. Panicked by their predicament, they may have jumped into the sea in an attempt to save themselves, only to be lost to the unforgiving waves. While there's no concrete evidence to support this theory, it does offer a possible explanation for why the ship was found abandoned with the cargo still intact. Now let's address the elephant in the room: the persistent rumors of the Mary Celeste being haunted and the crew vanishing due to supernatural activity. These claims originated from sensationalist newspapers looking to capitalize on the mystery and intrigue surrounding the ship. There is no legitimate evidence to support the notion that the Mary Celeste was cursed or that the crew was taken by paranormal forces. It's important to rely on factual evidence and logical reasoning when investigating such occurrences rather than resorting to superstitious beliefs and folklore. So, what really happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste? Unfortunately, after all these years, the mystery remains unsolved. Despite numerous investigations and countless theories, we still don't know what happened to the crew or why they left the ship. All we can say for sure is that the Mary Celeste was found fully intact, suggesting that it wasn't destroyed by fire or cannibalism. The ship's log provided no clues, and the last entry offered no insight into the missing days. The lack of definitive answers has left us with more questions than we can answer. Where are the crew? Why did they leave the ship? And what happened to them? The Mary Celeste continues to captivate people today and has become a symbol of the mysteries that lie hidden beneath the surface of the ocean. Its legacy lives on in books, movies, and television shows. And it's easy to see why. The story of a ship found abandoned at sea with its crew nowhere to be found is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. The vastness of the ocean and the unpredictability of nature make it all too easy to imagine how a ship and its crew could vanish without a trace. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the deep, we're bound to come across more puzzles that challenge our understanding of the world around us. The Mary Celeste serves as a reminder that there are still many things we don't know about the world and that there's always more to discover. What do you think happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste? Do you believe that they were taken by pirates or did they leave the ship voluntarily? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video and stay tuned for more exciting content. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Now check out this other video on unsolved maritime mysteries.